Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here on the stream to work on a Lego set, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And before we get things going, fully, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can, of course, throw in other people's emotes. You can just say hi. And if you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. That's just the thing you can do. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome. We are currently at 34 subscribers out of 40. I'm looking over there. Yeah, that's what it looks like. 34 out of 40. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 40. If you want to become a subscriber, you could. Also, shout out to Dustin Forrester. I don't think you're here now, Dustin. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. But Dustin continued their sub from a either Prime or gift and converted that to a tier 1 sub, which rules. Thank you very much for doing that, Dustin. And then also, I do want to throw in that it's September. That's right, it's still September. We're beyond the 21st night of September, but we're still in September. From now until the end of this month, you can save 25% off subs on both web and mobile. Didn't always used to be mobile. Now you can do it on there. And right now until October 1st, a bonus gift sub will be given every 5 gifts. So as you can see, if you looked at the gift sub leaderboard, I have 3 gifted subs from Valorant because Harold, H-Bomb and Friends gifted 5 subs. So then I got more gifted. I got some from Valorant, which is funny. It's weird. It's weird that my number 2 gift subs of the month is Valorant. So yeah, if you want to become a subscriber, if you want to gift a sub, you could save some money. It would be great for me. I would love that. And, number go up, and that's fun. We are currently beginning the Lego One Piece Windmill Village Hut. I did start it. I opened the box on Thursday because we didn't have a stream on Saturday. So on Thursday, I opened the box and got going. We'll go over the overhead camera so you can take a look at that. You can see I've got, four pieces going here. I got 4 pieces. I got a few other ones. We did our first minifig. Corporations love the Bear Cave. They do, Lord Crashington. They certainly do. You can see we've got 2 armed Shank here. So we do have a little bit of a fun minifig. We also eventually will do, what do they call this one? They call it Monkey D. Luffy. So we will have Luffy. I didn't know if there was like Kid Luffy. No, they just call it Monkey D. Luffy. But it is Kid Rubber Man Luffy and Makino. So we will have some building there. This comes with a hair built-in hat. Lord Crashington wants me to dance button, and I will. We've got a hat with hair, and then we also just have hair. But why not have the hat? Why not have the straw hat? Thank you for using your channel points. We're almost done with this song. In October, we'll have a new song. But yeah, I'm going to hit the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for something silly like the dance button. I appreciate it very much. As I begin to put this together, I do want to take one quick second to show, in case you missed on Friday. On Friday was a lovely fundraiser stream. Very happy to do that stream on Friday. You may have missed it. Hey, here's Slowpoke. I built Slowpoke and did a little panel lining on Slowpoke. There's Slowpoke. It's a good friend. We went with these eyes. We went with happy eyes. There were a variety of eye stickers we could have used, but we went with the happy eyes. Yes, Lord Crashington, this is the beginning of the show when Luffy is just a kid who has a lot of bravery and has, due to retconning and flashbacks that are added later, has been on some adventures already, certainly. Has been in some jams, and has 2 sworn blood brothers, which we don't know about at this point, but in the future we will then learn about it. But yes, at this point, Luffy is just doing the thing, doing it, making it happen. All right, I need one of these. So we're gonna have Kid Luffy at some point, which will be good. But yeah, I built that Slowpoke. It's cute. It's fun. That stream was very fun. I did not stream on Saturday because I did a Friday stream instead. So that was, and you know what? It went well. Hit my goal. Played some video games. Beacon Patrol. I'm going to go out and say right off the bat that Beacon Patrol is cool. I don't know if it makes sense to play it by yourself. It's nice that there is a way to play it by yourself. That is not just a one-to-one recreation of the board game. It is that, but it's also more than that. And I think that's neat. That's fun. I would say, especially because you can do remote play, that is probably the way to play it. In my opinion, is to play like the version of the board game just with, or the tabletop game, whatever you want to say, just with your friends. I think that's probably the way to do it. But that was fun to check out. Did a couple runs in Nubby's Number Factory, which I hadn't played that game that day, so it was nice to get in some time. And like I said, built Slowpoke, and then edited my list. My top 25 games of the last 25 years list is locked because the fundraiser is over. If I end up ever having to do something like that again, the plan will be I'll have to do something else. I'll have to do another fundraising incentive. I have thoughts on what that would be, and it would be a variation of that. It would be another top 25 of the last 25 years list. It would just be a different subject. The obvious one for Pat Baer's, Pat Baer streams is to do Pat's 25 anime of the last 25 years list. Like that, to me, just makes the most sense. To do that, to be like, okay, because I've done top 10 lists for the past couple years, so I can just start there and then do the anime that got released in those years, and then remember that, like, I have to decide, like, okay, is it release year, like I did, or is it the year that it became available? And it's probably release year. Because obviously in the 2000s there weren't worldwide anime releases, so you kind of have to go like when it debuted on Japanese television or home video or something in Japan, and you kind of have to go on like that, which I, for the most part, went by American releases on my top 25 games last 25 years list, except for I think like a couple that were like, well, this is the best game of the year. And the other years I'm not as thrilled. I'm just going to do it. So there were a few times where I don't want to say I cheated, but I did kind of make executive decisions. Okay, so that's this piece is just showing me on an angle. Okay, so this goes here. Whoops. Oh no. That all went to kaput. Put this on here like that. Okay. Got to stabilize. This has got to go like this. Great. Now we got a water feature there. Buoy, because we're on the water. And then we got to do another one of these. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have immediate plans to do another big fundraiser like that with a huge incentive like that. But it's nice to know that that's something I could do, right? I could do my top 25 anime of the last 25 years, or 26 years. I could do something like that, or I could do 2001 to 2026 instead of 2000, right? Like, there's 25 years is a nice big number, so I could definitely do that again if I end up doing next year, and then like my anime of this year, which I don't know what that is. I did do a video in I believe in July. I put out a video. I don't actually remember when I put it out. I did put out an episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club where I did my top 10 so far. And I can actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can just look for that. I can just go to playlists, mute audio so it doesn't start. Anime Club playlist. There we go. Okay, and audio started, and I don't want audio to start. Let me look now. Okay. For summer shows I regret recommending. That was a good one. All Isekai wrap up preview. Crunchyroll Awards. 5 Spring. Did I thought I did one of these. Did I not do one of these? I thought for sure I had done a video where I talked about like halfway year point or something like that. Maybe I didn't do it. Oh man, I really thought I did one of those. Let me see. Anime I love but no rewatch. 4 video weird manga. Great anime based on video games. 4 summer 2025 recommendations. Shows I regret. All 8 summer 2025 isekai, which asterisk because there was one that maybe is an isekai. Wrap up. Crunchyroll Anime Awards results. Worst reveals and twists. 5 Spring 2025 recommendations. All Spring. I didn't do that video. I really thought I did that. Huh. I am legitimately surprised that I didn't do that video. I really thought I did. Huh. I'm very surprised, friends. Like, I am legitimately surprised right now that I didn't do that. I thought I had made that video where I had looked at every anime. I looked at every anime that, like, you know, was on my list or whatever and made a top 10 list. I really thought I did that video. I'm genuinely surprised I didn't. That's shocking to me. I didn't do it. Huh. Yeah, that's genuinely surprising. I remember coming up with that idea. I guess I just didn't do it. Huh. Okay. Yeah, because this would be the spring. It would be the spring wrap up, summer preview would be there, and then the summer isekai because it would have to be. It'd have to be during the summer season. I would have to have made it. Anime I love and I rewatch. Great anime based on video games. Yeah, I guess I never did it. Huh. Weird. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Episode 151 is not in my playlist. That's maybe that's what it is. Could that be it?
Hello and welcome to Pat Baer's Anime.
That should not have started. Got double Pat voice. 151. No, okay. So Pat Baer's Anime Club episode 151 isn't on my playlist. Which is weird. That isn't in my playlist. But also that's not what I'm thinking of. So that's really weird. All right, I gotta fix this. Sorry. Yeah, live oopsies. Yeah, it happens. 151 has been published. It is my it's in Kuma Baer. I put it in the wrong playlist. That's what happened. Save. Okay, yeah. So I put it in the wrong playlist. Episode 151. Doing things. Okay, so let's see if maybe I did that again. Have a video called. Oh. Okay, so folks, I didn't do it this year. I did it last year. That's what I'm thinking of. In episode 128 of Pat Baer's Anime Club, favorite shows of 2024 so far. I did it last year, and then I meant to do it this year because I thought it was a good idea, and then I didn't do it. Holy shit. Okay. That's wild. Yeah, I should have done it. Oh wow. Okay. Sorry. I'm like in real time realizing that I didn't do that video. That's crazy to me. All right. Favorite shows of 2026 so far. I'm writing down on my list. Obviously, I won't do that video until the summer of next year, but I want to have it on record as a video I can do. That's so funny. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. Holy shit. That's so funny to me. I'm sorry that I got distracted by that, but I was like, oh, I must have done that video. And then because I remember I made a video like that and I was like, this is a great idea because I can then look at that list and go, okay, well, what doesn't make the cut, right? Because here's the thing, though. I'll peek behind the curtain. A thing that I will do for this is often when I make my top 10 list, I start with everything that I've made for Kuma Baer, right? Because every season I do, I spend a month doing my favorite shows from that previous season. And so I will go through and go, okay, well, I liked these shows and I like this one. And so it's on the list. Like this Wednesday will be the first of that. So I go through and put all those on a list. And then I'm like, in hindsight, did I actually like this or did I want to include it? And then I'll go through using AniChart and look at all the seasonal shows, right? I also watched the previous video to see if I did any, my previous top 10 video, to see if I did any honorable mentions. So at the time where I finished that video, there was a show where there was a delay and we didn't get the final episodes of one show. I can't remember which one. But that show could be eligible this year. And now that I think about it, was pretty fucking good. I wrote down that, I didn't write down which one, but I did write down, oh, this is pretty fucking good. Is it Whisper Me a Love Song? I think it's Whisper, yeah. And so like that could end up in my top 10 because that was really good, but it wasn't eligible because not every episode had come out. Because I often do it like I do it for like the last stream, my last video in December. And so you can end up in my top 10 list for the year if all your episodes haven't come out, but I haven't watched them. That's certainly fine. But if all the episodes aren't going to come out, then it's not eligible for me. But I also can wait, if I wanted to, could wait until the beginning of January to do that. If I want to do that, but so far I haven't wanted to do that. I've wanted to just put it out there. This has to go like this. This has to go here. That. Got it. A fun little build so far. Past Pat screwing over present day Pat. Yeah, every once in a while, past Pat fucks up. I will say this. My community of people that watch my videos are very kind. They always have been. But people, if they catch me screwing up on something, they don't call me out. But I'm never convinced if they missed it, they also missed it, or people were paying attention, like that kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, that video, one of the Pat Baer's anime clubs pretty recently was not in my playlist. Nobody said anything, and I didn't notice it because I went in the wrong playlist. I'm like, that's annoying that I missed it, and it's also minorly annoying that nobody else mentioned it. It's like, they're probably not looking. Most people are probably following direct links that I post on social media or here in chat, and they're not looking at the playlist that's in there. And they're probably new people aren't going back necessarily. They're just looking for videos that get recommended to them that I have put out, based on how long they've watched the video that I made that they watched. So that kind of thing. It's like, it ain't the end of the world, but I was like, oh. I was just looking for that video. Need more playlist nerds subbing to you. Yes, that would help. Really what I need to do is, so one of these days I have to go through Kuma Baer and Anime Club, my most consistent playlist, and just go through and make sure all of them are in there and cross-check it. I also haven't updated my, I have an external hard drive with all of the video files there, and I don't know if I have backed, I have the original Kuma Baer recordings that have not had, I save every Kuma Baer, because they're under a minute, right? And I save every Kuma Baer after I've added the burned in captions. So I save both those. Okay, so this has to go like this. So I save both of those every time. All right, now we have a stable platform. This isn't going anywhere. And we have the illusion of water, which is fun. All right, we can build up more here. What was this there? Oh, yeah. So every Kuma Baer, I have both versions because they're small videos, right? Totally small videos, easy. Pat Baer's Anime Club, I don't have the originals. I have rips of my YouTube channel. And I've done that because they are smaller files, the ones that have been ripped there. They're still high quality video, but they are definitely smaller than the originals. And that's just to save space because they're already on YouTube. I shouldn't say this. I don't necessarily think that any of the Pat Baer's Anime Club videos are going to be copyright struck because I don't include video. I just include photographs. Now, there are some videos where I have manga panels in them, and those could get a cease and desist. And those could get a copyright, takedown because I did a video on vertical scroll manga, and I used some examples of some stuff, and I tried to just use like the first page, not even the pages of them. I tried to use stuff that is readily available and shouldn't be an issue. I tried to do some stuff that wasn't going to necessarily trip. I didn't use a bunch of companies that I know don't like to see even the hint of a manga page anywhere on the internet that they didn't put up there. So I tried my best to do that as best I could, but that still could get a cease and desist. When I talk about manga, I never have manga pages up except for that one video. So that one video could get taken down someday, but I have a backup of that. I know I have that. The other videos I've got out there, are just, they're just things that I'm like, okay, well, I have backups of this. This will be fine. When I do a different, any other manga video that I do, I just have the cover art because that is generally sent out everywhere as promotional material. Now that still could get copyright claimed. I've never had a cover of a One Piece manga, a graphic novel collection or single issue. I've never had that because that would be inviting Toei to get flirty with me vis-a-vis takedown notices because they are ridiculous. They're counteracting years of scanlation and all that other stuff, but which I understand, but also I'm showing a cover that they have used for promotional materials, and I'm just showing that cover of a chapter. But I understand that common sense does not always work in this regards. So, if I have to edit a video, I'll edit a video. I don't want to. I especially don't want to use YouTube's tools to edit a video because they're bad. But I could if I had to. And I would, and I will if I have to. A couple updates. The Riyadh Comedy Festival happened. We talked about that before. A couple comedians had put word out there that they had been offered contracts and refused to go, and a list of things that you couldn't do. Or some guidelines have been revealed and released by some comedians. So we will chat about that very briefly. So again, these are things that you're agreeing to if you are signing a contract to do stand-up at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. These are things that told weren't allowed to talk about, including jokes. Period. No, you can make jokes. No, this is like the kinds of jokes you can't make. Jokes that may be considered to degrade defame, or bring into public dispute, contempt, scandal, embarrassment, or ridicule the Saudi Arabia, its ruling government, the royal family, or any religion or religious figure, period. So not any, you cannot make jokes about the Christian God at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. You cannot ridicule the Christian God. That's a no-no. If a big portion of your stand-up is making jokes about your experiences as a person of the Jewish faith, can't do that. You can't risk it. Not allowed. Let's see. Was there any other things there? Yeah. And also, yeah, in general other stuff. But that was interesting information that we didn't necessarily have. So it is nice to have some of that on record as what people signed, because obviously they had agreements. Now, I should make this clear that I personally, your friend Pat, do not know who got that information, who signed that contract. Was it different for different levels? This is somebody, not super famous. Atsuko is not Bill Burr famous or Dave Chappelle famous. They may have had different contracts, but you can assume that anyone on the famous because I'm a podcaster level, they got the same thing that she did. Definitely. Certainly. I do not, I am fully confident that the people of that level got these pretty consistently. I'm sorry, I didn't miss a piece. Okay, so this goes here, and then this goes like that. Like that, okay. And then this goes like that. And this goes... Oh, no. I am missing... Oh, I did these wrong. So yeah, I wanted to give an update on that. Another small little thing before we get into the big story of the day. A couple small things, some good and bad. Let's do a good one. Silent Hill F has sold 1 million copies. That's awesome for a horror game. That is awesome for a Silent Hill game to do so well so far. I have no intention of playing that video game, but I could still be happy for wins like that. That's good news. That's just Konami being that's both digital and physical. It launched on the 25th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. It is a game. Okay. Neobards Entertainment made it in collaboration with Capcom, and they have done a bunch of collections and remasters for Capcom. So that is apparently the company they use. They've done a bunch of stuff with Capcom. This is the first time they've worked with Konami on this, it looks like. But they've done a bunch of... They are a company apparently known for doing good work with these kind of remasters and remakes. So that's fun. That's just a fun one. The Capcom Cup. Tickets go on sale November 12th. It is an in-person event in Japan. You can also watch the preliminaries and the semifinals and the finals on the internet. And if you want to watch the semifinals and finals, which will be taking place in next year, in March of next year, there will be pay-per-view tickets to purchase. If you want to watch the finals of the Capcom Cup, you are going to have to pay an undisclosed amount of money because tickets are not on sale yet, and they have not announced how much those tickets will be. But let's see. These are sorry. So there's more information here. These are tickets. Okay. We actually do have that. Live in venue and pay-per-view. Okay, so let's do some conversions. Doing a yen to USD conversion right now. We're doing the there. Oh wait, no, this is not what I want. I want a converter. Version. There we go. Currency converter. Sorry, pardon me. There we go. There it is. About $27 right now. If you want to watch when tickets go on sale, the conversion rate is the equivalent of $27 to watch the a single day ticket for either the top 12 or the final day. And that's multiple hours. That's many matches. But that's that. And if you want to get, hey, I know that Lastberg is saying, LOL, no. That's just for one day. It's $26, but there's a bundle. If you want to spend $6,000 yen, you can do $40. That's $40. So if you want to do 2 days of live streams, the bundle, the pay-per-view bundle, that's only $40 instead of, multiple. Also, they will be replaying it for free on March 21st. So a couple weeks later, when you have forgotten all about the Capcom Cup, when you know the results and you've seen people recording their own screens or live in person clips, don't worry, you can then watch it for free later in the month. Yeah, so when this came out, they didn't have the price up, and I was like, that's not gonna fly. Like, no, you know what? I'm sorry. I know that people really like watching this stuff, because here's the thing. There's still gonna be ads, right? They're still gonna have sponsors they talk about. They're still gonna bombard you with ads. You're gonna spend that money, and you're still gonna have people trying to sell you something. Like, there's no way you won't have that. So it's just like, what are we even doing here? Like, no, that's just not gonna fly. What are we talking about? So yeah, maybe like with wrestling, people will go in on it, and they will, someone will pay for it and have it on a Discord, and then other people will be able to jump in on that, and it'll be like that. We have finished bag one. Bag one is done. So now we're gonna work on our Makino when we open up bag two. We still have a boat, and then this is bag two. This is bag two. That's bag three. This is bag two. All right, so let's open up bag two, and we will null everything in bag two. But yeah, that's ridiculous. That's nonsense. What are we doing here? One more little story, and then we'll spend the next 20 minutes or so talking about the big story of the day, because there's a big story of the day. I'm going to move this out of my way here so that I can get all this stuff together and null it all together. We'll build Makino, and then we will null all the pieces here. Oh, I almost missed. It's clear. See, this is why I look. I almost missed this clear mug. Now, is there a second clear mug? Yes, but I still don't want to miss it. All right, you gotta look at the bags. Puff Pals Island Skies is a Kickstarter that raised $2.6 million, and he's now in the process of ghosting everybody. Puff Pals Island Skies, made by Fluff Nest. launched a Kickstarter in 2020. And they were like, we're going to make a PC game that's like Animal Crossing. Like that was their pitch. And they're modest. They had a goal of this is, you know, by Kotaku saying modestly, they're at a goal of $75,000. Which again, yeah, that sounds like a reasonable amount of money to try to raise, you know, just seed money to get things going, and then you get some further investment. That's how a lot of these work. That is, you know, in general, how the Kickstarter goes. Kickstarter is not, we're going to raise every dollar we need to make this game. It's, we're going to raise some money to then get further investment, and then we'll be good. All right. There she is. Our second figure. She doesn't get legs. She's got like skirt. I guess it's supposed to be a skirt. Okay, sure. All right, now we'll set stuff up here by color, and we'll null and get ready to then build. So let's see. People were excited. Project got some buzz, and then it raised 2.6 million. And it says here on Kotaku, kinda. Backer refund requests have been ignored. Multiple lawsuits against the company behind the project have been lodged. It was started by 2 people in 2020. And they had they made a bunch of plushies. They got a big fan base, social media, and then we're like, okay, we're going to take these designs and we are going to make a game. And then people were like, they're not asking for a lot of money. And that's, like I said, that's because, you know, theoretically they are just putting this out there so they can go, look, we raised this amount of money, and then they can get publisher support or whatever, or you know, angel investment or something like that. So, you know, it is a bit of a red flag, but it is not the biggest red flag, because that is, you know, how a lot of this is figured out these days. So it wasn't the biggest of red flags, but it certainly was a red flag. Let's see. They got a bunch of money. And then they let's see. Updates started to slow down because, of course, they did, as you know, as that happens. That happens a lot. You know, it is unfortunately a thing. As a lot of times, developers of these kind of Kickstarter projects that are doing their best and do mean well run into a thing where they're like, well, we don't have any good news, so we're going to wait until this thing happens, and then we can talk about that, because this thing's going to happen, and and we'll have a big update that we can give you. And then things get kind of messed up, and they're like, well, we don't want to keep giving bad news, so we're just going to wait. And then all of a sudden, you haven't talked to your backers in a long time because you're tired of being a broken record, and then suddenly you're not, you know, you're just not communicating, and it becomes this kind of like fucking problem. That has certainly happened before. But yeah, they just kind of started talking, you know, you get your sorry, you know, we're working hard. They had a bunch of GIFs here and there and concept art. And then they started delaying alpha. They had alpha build promises, and they started delaying that. And yeah, and then they're just like, okay, well, we're feeling good about this, and then we made this progress, and you're like, oh no, this is not going to go well. And then at one point, it looked like their main business, because remember, they're a plushie business that was like, we want to make a game ourselves with these plushies, based on this plushies property that we have. Then it looked like that company was in fucking trouble. Like, the plushie part of it started to like be very clear that like, oh, shit's not going good for this either. And then it looked like They were like, oh, we got overcharged. We were trying to outsource that so we could focus on the game. And we were outsourcing our plushie business and we got hosed and we're dealing with all that. And he starts to go like, okay, this is just, okay, these are just excuses. This is like a song and dance. Fuck. And then they're like, yeah, the game is fine. We're dealing with this other thing, but the game is going to come out. Don't you fucking worry about it. And it's like, okay, sure. The last update was on May of this year. And it was a bunch of excuses. And then it turned out, oh, actually, we're not developers. You know that. But the company that we hired to do this, they haven't been making the game. And, they took the money. Oh, we haven't paid them any of the money or, like the money is in this thing or in that. A bunch of, conflicting things. And then they, the website is gone. Their website, they haven't paid and is gone. And apparently the people who haven't been, who have been working on this game say they haven't been paid. And apparently the other people have sued them successfully for money that they owe them. And now Room 8, the company that got hired to make this game, are suing them for wages. And they have apparently just gone completely dark on it and disappeared. And it's a weird thing to say. This is a cautionary tale because really it's a Kickstarter, right? Like at the end of the day, you want things to come out, right? You want things to come out. You understand creep and you understand situations. Like I've said, I only have 2 video games that I backed on Kickstarter that I know will never come out. Life got in the way for 2 people that were making a fun game with a controller. That game's never coming out. I understand that. Another game is never coming out because the person who was working on it basically had to go into hiding for a number of years and has kind of come out the other side of that and is seemingly in a better spot, but will never fully be in a better spot. And so like, I ain't the one out there going, well, when are you going to make this FMV game that I backed? Like, nah, that's not going to be me. I'm just never going to do that. Because it's just not going to happen. And that's it as far as my stuff that I have backed never coming out. I just don't think it ever will. I don't think either of those games are ever going to get made. But everything else that I've backed has been successful, except for one that I got a refund on because she could not handle the attention she was getting from garbage people out there who were being garbage. She was just like, I'm out and I'm off the fucking internet. If you want a refund, here's how to do it. And got my refund for that. But yeah, the other stuff, not doing it. All right, let's get into this main story. We got some time to talk about it. We should. Lashbrook is so far 100% successful with Kickstarters. Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. That's awesome. All right, we're building the inside of our thing here with some shelving units here. Making some shelves and the like. Some storage, various things here. We'll put that together. Let's talk about it. Today, it broke over the weekend that this was likely to happen. Reportedly, very likely to happen. It broke over the weekend, and then today it is confirmed that EA is trying with obviously approval coming in 2027, which will most likely happen. Is going to go private. And is going to be sold to a collective group comprised of the PIF from Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia's whitewashing initiative, Silver Lake and Affinity Partners in an all-cash transaction that values EA at about $55 billion. And the consortium will acquire 100% of EA. PIF already has 9.9% stake, so this is just them going there. And they are going to basically, EA stockholders will receive $210 per share in cash, which is way higher than the current 168.32, which was the market close on this past Friday, which was the last full day of trading. And their market, the highest market share they had was in August. So a thing that there's a lot to unpack with this. There's a lot to be said about this. People who are smarter than me will have many things to say about the future of EA and its many properties and all of that. To me, this is certainly bad news for employees of EA. And I don't say that because Jared Kushner's investment firm is going to be in control of it. I don't say that purely from the idea that, now fucking the Saudi Arabian government is going to own EA. When I say this is bad for employees of EA, what I mean is that a lot of them are going to lose their jobs because they will have to. Because part of this sale is not $55 billion changing hands. This transaction was approved by EA's board of directors. It is subject to closing conditions, regulatory approval that they'll most likely get by 2027, and approval by EA stockholders, which is more likely than it's not that EA stockholders will go, well, this is a guarantee of a bunch of money, and then I will invest in other companies with that money. They will probably all be cool, which obviously sucks, but they will probably be cool. Ooh, a broom. Sorry, I don't know if I've built a Lego broom before. So the reason why I think that a bunch of people are going to be laid off is one, because that always fucking happens, of course, right? Like, that always happens. To think that it wouldn't happen in this case is to be naive, but also because of this $56 billion, 55, approximately $36 billion are investment from PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners, which also includes the rollover stake within that fund, within that as well. And then also $20 billion of debt financing fully and solely committed by JP Morgan Chase Bank North America, $18 billion of which is expected to be funded at close. That $20 billion, is debt to JP Morgan Chase that is solely debt from EA. And that's why a bunch of people will be laid off. A bunch of studios will be closed. Games will be canceled. Because EA, which will still be run by the CEO until he gets his parachute deal, they will have to come up with all of that money. They'll have to pay back that debt with interest to Chase. And I know what you're saying. Pat, isn't this what happened to, in America at least, Toys R Us and a variety of other companies where they were acquired and then for whatever reason took on the debt of that acquisition? It's currently happening with Twitter, where Twitter has to pay back loans that Elon took out in order to purchase Twitter? Yes. Yes, that's the thing that happens there. That is the bleed dry. We are now witnessing the slow death of EA because it will never be able to pay off those debts. Now, could a privately owned EA sell itself for pennies on the dollar to another company that just so happens to be heavily invested by the Saudi Arabian government? Yes. So we might just see EA sell to a new company with all that, and they might even sell the name for dumpster prices. And we'll just have a new EA. That is a unbelievably possible future. Now, should make this clear. I am not here to mourn the future passing of EA as a company. EA is a shit company. Always has been. This is the worst. This is somehow a new low for EA. This is a new worst version of EA, which is kind of fucking impressive. It is kind of fucking remarkable that this is the new, it's a new low. It's an unbelievably new low for EA. It's like the worst possible thing. Because, like I said, by spending this inflated, insane evaluation for EA, but having them owe $20 billion. EA is never going to make that money. They're never going to make that money back. Even without interest, they're never, ever going to make that money. It is just now an excuse because they will have to then raise, increase profits wherever they can to then lay off all of these people from a privately owned business. Now, could there be a shareholder revolt? Yes. It's possible that collectively the shareholders say, this sucks. We don't want to make this one-time money. We want to continue to make money with EA. It's possible that they say, no, we're not doing this. I don't know how likely that is because I don't know who makes up majority shareholders of EA in various ways. How many, is it a moot point? They'll be stripped down for parts to sell over time. Yes, Lord Cratchington. But like I said, maybe not even that. It might be more likely that EA won't even be stripped for parts. They'll just sell wholesale for very cheap to another holding company so that the debt goes away with EA. That those billions of dollars in debt and those loans to the bank just disappear with the formerly known as EA. And then a bunch of holdings and games and development ideas and all that, and none of the employees, because by then all of the people with parachute deals will have pulled their parachute. All of that will then just go over to, at that point, then all of that just goes over for cheap to a new company. It's faster death than you think. A financial piece, they're already talking about pivoting significant portions of work to AI to reduce operating costs. Yeah, I mean, yes, Lastberg, like I said, they have to. Lastberg, I'm sorry if it came off that I was saying it's a slow death, like years. No, I'm talking by the time 2027 rolls around, there won't be much of EA left. This is immediate. Because they have to have billions of dollars ready to pay back a loan instantly. They instantly have to have billions of dollars to hand over to Chase Bank. So they're going to have to start firing people, like immediately. Fire people, lay people off, close departments, close studios, tighten the ranks. Yeah, it is the death of EA, and the only outcome, other outcome is that all the shareholders go, we fucking want to keep making money with EA. What are we doing here? I think that's the only way, because I guess I could imagine a scenario where the Saudi government is pissing off Donald Trump. I guess they could piss him off enough that he was like, oh, I don't want this. But that seems way less likely than a shareholder revolt. That seems the more likely outcome. But yeah, this is the death of EA, and it won't take long. Get Battlefield 6 while you can, I guess. They'll still sell you Battlefield 6. It's just for a while it'll transition who's in charge of it. But yeah, if you want to buy Battlefield 6, buy Battlefield 6, I guess. You might be playing the last Battlefield. With a number, I guess, I'll say. There might be other Battlefields, but they won't have numbers. But yeah. It's all fucked. And again, I want to make it very clear that I am not here going like, this is a shame, I loved EA. EA was a terrible company that already did a ton of fucking layoffs before all of this. And the board of that is just like, yeah, we'll go private and take our big fucking payoff. Sure, sounds good to me. Knowing that all of this is what all of this is gonna be. I have seen some people be like, oh, well, maybe the Saudi prince really loves EA. It's just like, okay, sure, yeah, sure. Maybe he does. Maybe he's a big fan of EA. It's just like, oh yeah, love it. I love BioWare. I can't wait to meet the doctors, because no one's told them that they don't work there. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm psyched about this. We got to put a bunch of more money into the next Mass Effect game. I can't wait. Like, maybe. Oh. I think that company is just, yeah, sunsetting. Goodbye. It's depressing. It's a lot of people who will be out of work because of that. There aren't big publishers springing up. Nobody's growing as a publisher. They're just consolidating or breaking free. Okay, so why is this not wanna? Sorry, hold on. Is this supposed to be taller than this? Sorry, I went to go put this on. Maybe I have the wrong piece here. Nope, this lines up right. This lines up right, but then this piece wasn't in the right. Maybe it wasn't in the right spot. I don't know. It's supposed to go like that. Huh. Oh, it's supposed to go like that. There it is. I figured it out. It was a little off center. Considering how City of Wolves is gone, you would hope the prince isn't interested in your game. Yes, I guess. I guess you would hope that you just get to keep putting your game out and nobody's paying attention to what you're doing, and you just get to slip your game out there before anybody notices. But that seems to be unlikely. All right, we got the bar top there done. And then got to put the buoy on. Put on the buoy. This is looking real nice. Looking real cool here. I'll show it to you here before we take our pause for the cause. I figured I'd show you what I'm working with here. Parties. We got the broom in the corner. I like this Lego broom. It's nice. All right. So yeah, I mean, more to come. If I worked at EA, I would be looking for a new job as soon as possible. Because it probably won't continue to exist. Jobs there, I should say. All right. We are going to take a pause for the cause. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. Because I didn't stream on Saturday, I'm going to talk about the 12th episode of Water Magician and the 12th episode of Secrets of the Silent Witch. This Saturday, I'll talk about the 13th and final episode of Secrets of the Silent Witch. And this Thursday, I will talk about the last 2 episodes of City, because episode 13 will be out by then, because I think it comes out tomorrow. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. And then I'll probably also talk about, maybe I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait till next week and talk about the last 2 episodes of Rory Rocks. So I'm not going to talk about episode 12 today. So I'll probably talk about that next week. And then on Thursday, I might talk about a new anime as well, because new stuff's starting up. I don't know what I'm watching day to day or what I'm going to be covering this month. I never really know going into it what I'll be covering, but there'll be something that we'll be talking about on stream. There's always some anime to chat about. I don't think I'm going to be covering Ranma 1/2 Part 2, but I might cover it. I don't normally cover Part 2s. Oshino Ko, I will cover when there's a new season of that, because I don't hate watch that show, but I do hate watch a portion of it because I'm more interested in the murder mystery and the supernatural shit that we got at the end of the season than I am the like young people trying to make it in the world of being idols and actors and such. But I'm now maybe pot committed to covering that show on stream, so we'll probably talk about that in the future. But right now, what we're going to talk about is ways that you can support what I do here. First things first, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. I'm going to talk for a few minutes here about ways you can support what I do here. They're all optional. You don't have to do any of these things. But if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat, like Nathan just did. Hello, Nathan. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You can also save money by being a subscriber. For the rest of September, it's still September, so you can save some money like that. Also on the web, you can also gift some gift subs if you want to support the community. We are currently at 34 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about my subscriber count when I hit 40, so we are just 6 subs away. If you want to become a subscriber, save some cash, or you want to gift a sub and help somebody out, you could do that. That is another way to benefit, to support me if you wanted to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. Let's see. Other ways to support what I do here. Well, of course, there's always going to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. You can join the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier, and there are different rewards for the different tiers. I just put out a Q&A video, my monthly Q&A video, and both questions were related to what I do on stream. So that was fun. But yeah, at the $1 tier, you can watch that Q&A video. It's the only exclusive content that I make. Also, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on the YouTube channel, you can subscribe, of course. I just got an email here. That's fine. I don't care about that. You can subscribe, of course. For free. But if you want to become a subscriber and pay a little money, then you become a member. Memberships over there is $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you will find out the first of 5 shows that I really loved from the summer 2025 season. So the very first one goes up tomorrow for you, and then Wednesday for everybody else. So take a look at that if you would like to. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you would just like to throw something in the tip jar, you can always throw something at me through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. Every little bit helps. Everything goes into a fund. Direct donations like that. YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. I'm so close to hitting the threshold where I can then spend $100 on model kits and Lego sets, and I'm excited to spend all that $100 on a bunch of kits and really refill the backlog. That's months away from happening, I think. So watching my videos or becoming a member over there would be great. Through YouTube, through Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out every month to buy model kits. I have a backlog of stuff that I'd be happy to build. I'm going to finish this Lego set probably on Thursday, during Thursday's stream. So I will have to do a poll about like what kits that I've got in there to build next. If you want to jump the queue and decide the next thing that I build, you can always go to my Amazon wish list and purchase something there. Anything purchased my wish list will jump the queue, become the next thing I build. You'll get a dedicated video on my YouTube channel called a mailbag video about the thing you purchased. And yeah, I've got Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I just put up something from I just put up a new thing on the wish list that is pricey, so I don't necessarily expect it to be purchased. But that is most recently I added the Arm Trooper Votom's Brilliantly Shining Heresy OVA. It's the Burglary Dog. The Burglary Dog is just a cool kit. I have never built anything from Votom's before. I would love to do that. So I put that on the wish list. Model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff, all kinds of things and things. If you see something on that list you'd like to see me put together, you can always pick it up, and then I'll build it on stream. That is the easiest way to do it. You can also go to my Throne wish list. It is nice to have alternatives to Amazon, so you can go on Throne, check that out. And then, of course, if you want to support me the most convoluted way fucking possible, you go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That's a pretty fun little way to support me if you're interested. Buy me a gift card, digital gift card. That would be kind of cool. You could do that. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Okay. If you want to support me, but you don't want to spend any money, I get it. You can always go over to, where is that? Discord. Support me on Discord by joining it. I've got a nice little community of fun folks. We'd love to have you join us over there. It's a cool little place. The latest episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club was recorded here on stream. It is my summer wrap-up / fall preview. It is a long stream where I talk about anime, lots of anime, stuff I watched last season that I loved, that I missed out on, that I gave up on, stuff that I'm going to try to watch this season because I've heard very good things about it. There's a show that was a 2-core that I am now watching. I just started it, so I'm going to check that out. And then also the stuff that I'm excited about for the season that has just begun. Some of which have already started, but I haven't watched them yet. And that I will be covering weekly on stream. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Now, last month, or this current month, September, because we're almost in October. In September, the theme of the month was isekai. I talked about some of my favorite isekai. And in this video, I talked about Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, which is a very cute series about a girl who dies and gets reincarnated, and she wants to be average, but she is the average of the strongest creature in the world and the weakest creature in the world, which makes her way stronger than any other human possible. And she is just then gonna fucking try to do her best. And it's pretty fucking great. She's really fun and ridiculous and silly in ways that I really love. because she just wants to hide her powers and she fucking can't. And it's good. It's a good show. You should check it out. It's comedy and really fun. And then on Wednesday, coming out early for some people to spend money, I will have this next month's theme, October's theme, which is all about the many, many very cool shows that I liked from this past season. I gotta talk about 5. So the next bunch of Kuma Bears will all be about that. I'm now remembering, did I come up with 5 yet? No, I have left room for some of these 5. Yes. Talk about that. Talk about that. Yeah. But I have made the one that's going out on Wednesday. I already did that. Despite, I'll say this. Hey, peek behind the curtain. I haven't seen the last episode of this anime. Things could go wrong. I could regret saying it's one of my favorite shows, but also I don't think so. I don't think the last episode of that show is going to make me suddenly go, ooh, I shouldn't have recommended it. No, I love it so much. There's no way. It's right now, it is in conversation to be my favorite show of the year. So like, oh, but also Rock is the Lady's Modesty is really good. Rock is the Lady's Modesty could be my favorite anime of the year. Looking at my list of stuff I really liked. Like, oh, I don't know. And it's like Dan to Dan Season 2 could be one of my favorite shows of the year. I'm looking at April for my winter 2025. Sakamoto Days, not going to be my top 10, not my favorite anime of the year. Zenshu could be in my top. Orb is in the top 10. Orb could maybe end up in the top. Orb on the Movements of the Earth is fucking incredible. I don't think I ever want to watch it again, but it's fucking incredible. Zenshu is definitely my favorite original anime of the year. I'll say that at least. And for Bureaucrat the Villainous, Dad's Been Reincarnated is going to be in my top 10. I don't think that's my favorite anime of the year. You'd think one of these days an isekai would be my favorite anime of the year because it is a subgenre that I really like, but they're not guilty pleasures, but they're not like, but I am still reasonable about it, right? I'm still going to be reasonable that they're not going to be my favorite anime of the year. Also, this season of Spy Family could end up being in my top 10. I know the source material for this season of Spy Family. I could end up top 10. No problem. It could. I don't know. All right. So at this point, I am going to drink some water because I need that. I desperately need that. Oh, I've already done that. We're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera and not just willy-nilly like I just did. And then we're going to talk about some anime that I have been watching. We're going to wrap up The Water Magician and do the second to last episode of Secrets of the Silent Witch. Lots of shows I watched this season at 13 episodes. Was not expecting that. Anyway, let's transition to the camera right now. All right. This isn't a willy-nilly stream. You're right, Lord Crashington. We have things that we do, like talking about anime in the second hour. Did I do that since the very beginning of Pat Bear's Anime Club? Or not Pat Bear's Anime Club. I talked about anime on that show. From the very first Build a Bear workshop, have I spent a good portion of every stream talking about anime that I was watching? No. I figured that out in a ways. I was like, oh, I could be talking about the anime I watch. This is a good idea. Because like I think like the first like year, well, the first parts of the year, the beginnings of the first year, I will say, I didn't talk about anime every stream because I wasn't doing 2-hour streams. I was doing like 1.5 hour streams, and I wasn't doing it 3 building streams a week. So like eventually I was just like, oh, I need things to talk about. I don't have enough going on in my life to talk about current events or whatever and keep people occupied. I need some things, and so then I figured out, I can just do recaps of the shows I'm watching. Because once I started hitting like several hours, a week of streaming, I was like, I need more to talk about here. All right. Go like this. And put that like that. And then I got to go back here. I jumped the steps and I have to go and fix my thing. Anyway, the last episode of The Water Magician. So, some people went and attacked the crown princess. Luckily, 3 of our adventuring friends, Ryo's friends, the people he came up with, who he's obviously way stronger than, Nils, Ito, and Amon, they're on the beach. And so they were able to catch Princess Fiona and help her. And also the people that chased after her, they were able to protect. They recognize this is the princess, we got to save her. Oscar shows up. Oscar works with Fiona and is incensed. And he's just like, hey, give me her. And he doesn't say who he is. He doesn't say who she is. And they're like, we are clearly not masked assassins. We don't know you. Why would we just give you this woman? Explain what's going on. And because he's strong, he doesn't have to explain anything. So he tries to forcibly take her from them. And they are not ready for that kind of fight. And they get hurt. And then Ryo shows up. Now, a thing to remember is that these two, the Oscar and Fiona, they're not from the same kingdom that Ryo is in, and also he does not give a shit about that. The thing he cares about is his friends. And Ryo is an overpowered main character that kind of doesn't give a shit because he's gotten strong enough. But I will say, this is probably the first time that we've ever seen Ryo this fucking pissed off. Like, he is unbelievably mad. And we get to see the two of them fight each other. And it's a pretty fucking cool fight. It's Ryo is never injured. Oscar is surviving and fine. But like both of them, it is basically a draw. And it is not... Ryo never gets serious. I don't know how serious Oscar gets in this fight. But Ryo never actually is in danger. And we've already seen him defeat people that are stronger than Oscar without breaking a sweat. So it really is a thing where, like, I think Ryo is not necessarily interested in definitely killing this dude, but he is fucking pissed off. And if Oscar doesn't back down, he's not going to back down first. Abel shows up, though. Abel was doing stuff on behalf of the Guildmaster. He should have been at the party. He should have been there. He wasn't there. He shows up. Oscar recognizes his name, and he's just like, hey, stand down. Ryo's like, I don't know why you think I'm going to stand down and not kill this guy. And he's like, well, because you'd start a fucking war if you did that. Stand down so you don't start a war. And Ryo, at first, does not back down, but eventually does back down, does it feel a little anticlimactic? Yeah, it feels a little anticlimactic, but like, I get it. We weren't going to see a fight to the death here with these two characters. There's more to come, I'm sure, in the manga. At this point, we're fairly well beyond where I've been in reading in the manga. So I am assuming there's more stuff going to happen with these characters. In fact, I know there is because of what happens later in this. So anyway, we don't see this. We just hear this, that Princess Fiona has rewards for our adventurers. Ryo does not get any rewards, and he's like, well, yeah, the attackers were all dead before I showed up. So it's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's fine. And we find out that Abel is still fucking pissed at Rio, didn't try to de-escalate the situation, almost caused a war between these two countries. Definitely would have been a fucking problem had he not intervened. And, if Abel had been later, Oscar could be dead. So he's mad. Rio finishes the job that he was there for, and now his punishment for going into the dungeon without permission is over. So he goes back to Loon, and we get some cute shit. We get some real cute, fun stuff with Sarah. Sarah is the elf who, she is not aware of this. She's not aware of this herself. He's like, definitely, Rio didn't tell her that he was going to be gone for so long, which is on him. She's missed him. They run into each other. It's really nice. So she's now bounced back from being sad that he's gone. She takes him to the Forbidden Archives to look for alchemy texts. That's a good little bit of business where they're like talking to each other, and finds out a little bit more that like she used to be going to the library and spending all this money. Now she has a pass to go there and do that stuff. And normally he wouldn't be allowed there, but because of, she's using her ability or her place in there to be able to let him in. Eventually they bump into Abel, and they have a nice conversation. Abel didn't realize that they knew each other. And then Sarah is kind of miffed because Rio speaks formally with her and very casual with Abel. And it's just like, come on, aren't we friends? And he's just like, yeah, we're now friends. I guess we are now friends. They have been friends this whole time, but now they're formally friends. She's elated. There's definitely some crushing going on, which is nice. Then there's a whole thing. Again, this is wrapping stuff up. This is like wrapping stuff up that they're like, well, we can't start a new thing. And also, we don't know if we're going to get a second season. So let's just like lay some groundwork for the next arc. He buys a house so he can experiment with alchemy without being in people's way. He gets a farmhouse and cleans it up. And then we get a monologue from the character that facilitated his reincarnation in this world, who he dubbed as an angel. He called Michael in his head. And Michael's just like, well, Oscar and Rio are definitely going to fight again. There's no way they aren't going to fight again. Which is like, yeah, I mean, oh, I missed a piece somewhere here. Yeah, I missed that. When did I miss? Wild. Oh, I missed that way back here. Huh, okay. Luckily, doesn't affect anything that I missed this, but I did miss this piece, and now I'm doing it now. He basically just like, they're going to fight again. I know he wants this relaxing life. It ain't going to happen. And he's destined, to fight to have other fights. And then there's like characters that we've seen in the show, including that Akuma, that big, powerful demon that they went to a draw. She's out there still. Further adventures are to come. Now, do I think that The Water Magician is going to get a second season? Maybe. I don't know how well it did in Japan. I think this was a good adaptation. I think the fight scene's really fun. I would say I think this is a good show. I think that you might only enjoy the first couple episodes where it's just about survival and a weird fantasy world, and then once he ends up in the city, and it becomes just another adventure show, it's not maybe as good. I still think it's fantastic. I really like the show. I could see this in my top 10 easily because I really enjoyed my time with it. I don't know for sure if it's going to be in my top 10, but I could see it ending up in my top 10 pretty easily. Water Magician, it's on Crunchyroll. I think it's real good. It's certainly my favorite isekai this season and one of my favorite isekai this year, so I imagine it'll end up in my top 10. Episode 12 of 13 of Secrets of the Silent Witch. All right, so we're moving on. Sorry. We are now moving on to... Oh, I got to do these pieces here. I did these. Now I got to put these here. I almost skipped a step again. I would have noticed eventually. And the nice thing about Lego, folks, is you can always fix your fuck-ups because you can just remove pieces. It's way easier to fix fuck-ups in Lego than model kits, for sure. Okay, Secrets of the Silent Witch. Monica, our main character, gets invited to go to a festival. That is it is a Halloween style Day of the Dead send off for the dead. A festival. It's a bell ring festival. Isabella invites her, and Monica gets fucking excited about going with a friend, doing that kind of thing, but she can't go because she has been summoned. By Mary, Mary is one of the seven sages. She's the seventh sage that can see the future, but she can't see a future for Felix, the prince. The reason, and that is one of the reasons why our girl Monica is trying to protect Felix while he's in school, because his future is questionable. So Monica actually, even though Isabella invited her, she couldn't go with Isabella. She's still going to the festival because Mary is doing an offering at the festival, and she wants Monica to observe it. Because part of this ceremony is to try to figure out what's going on with this star that they can't get a good read on. So that's the idea of like, hey, I want you to come here with that. Monica and Mary get escorted. I don't know why escorted didn't come out of my mouth right, but they have escorts to go see it. Monica sees Felix is there because of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? And also a guy named Bartholomeus, who is apparently a thief. But we know that she doesn't know that. They have a nice time. He is like just being a good dude with her and like showing her around and being a good host, I guess I would say. Oh, I put this on wrong. I'm gonna put this on like that. Yeah. That, yeah. Yes, okay. It goes on like that. Got it. That makes sense. All right. What else we got to do here? We're almost done with Bag 2. We are definitely going to finish this Lego set on Thursday. So I will have a poll up on probably Wednesday about what I should build next for my $10 patrons. 46246. Okay. So then Felix and Monica end up meeting up. And while they're meeting up, Bartholomew steals Mary's magic item called the Star Weaving Mirror. It is what she uses to see stuff, to see future things. We run into Cassandra again, who we have not seen in a while. Monica gets dressed up for the festival. Felix receives some letters from Cassandra. Monica and Felix go around the festival, and Monica finds a brooch that was crafted by one of the seven sages, the gem mage of the seven sages. And right now we don't know why this is going to be important, but this will probably be important. Again, we don't necessarily know why that is, but it feels like, oh, okay, this could be important. Why is that like that? Oh, okay. Yeah. This is like not. This is like a weird Lego thing where this piece and this piece are not interconnected because there's no way for that to be interconnected, and that's weird. So I was like looking. I'm like, nope, that's like that. You see here, like this peg, it's going into just nothing, and that's very rare for Lego. Like this piece can just pop. I guess this means that you can take this out if you want to get access to something in here easier, because this is not connected to anything, so it makes it easier to remove it. I guess that's what we're doing here, but it's weird. It's weird to have a piece like this that is not pegged and connected. Anyway, Felix goes off on his own, and then while he's off on his own, Monica finds out. She gets informed. Oh fucking shit! The star weaving mirror has been stolen. The important item, and I'm sure that the chase for that will be, and probably some shit on Felix will be episode 13, and maybe the brooch that she just got will be important and will pay off immediately. One could only assume that is where we're going with this. I don't actually know, but I could see that. Oh, we got one more sign, and then we are ready for bag 3, and we'll know bag 3. We got one more episode of this show. I am certainly intrigued on what's happening here and how this wraps up. We will talk about that this weekend. And so for Thursday, we're definitely going to talk about the last 2 episodes of City. And then I might have a new show to talk about on Thursday, or I might wait. And then on Saturday, I will have at least one new show and also the last episode of this show, and we'll transition. Maybe 2 shows, who knows? Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to be covering. It's whatever I feel interested in. Is what I'll end up, talking about. All right, now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on this week? I always love hearing from you about what you're into and playing. So feel free to let me know if there are any games out there that you're playing, or movies that you're watching, or books that you're reading, or anything like that. I'll tell you that the full release of Hades 2 is really fucking good. I don't know if you needed me to tell you that, but Hades 2 is a great fucking video game. Holy shit, that's a great fucking video game. It's just so good. I played so much of Hades 2 because I did not have a stream on Saturday because I streamed on Friday. So I spent a lot of Saturday and Sunday playing Hades 2. I also played the video game that I'll be playing tomorrow, Unfair Flips. I've beaten that game twice now. I now have 2 victories in Unfair Flips, which is pretty good because that game is that's a fucking video game right there. That's a wild, weird time. There are several endings. I have not gotten the ending that I want more than any other ending. There is one ending that I do want to get. I haven't had a repeat. I've had 2 different endings, but I did not get the ending that I'm looking for. I am hoping that one, in 2 hours I can beat it, because it's certainly possible. If you are playing Unfair Flips, I will give you, I think I have mentioned this on the stream before, but I will give you a heads up of something very important. You don't have to. You absolutely do not have to use the mouse constantly. You can use the space bar or the enter key on your keyboard. This is unbelievably important. All right. We're building. Okay, we'll get a devil fruit going here. We got a devil fruit, and we got a Luffy. We got a little kid Luffy. We'll do that. Got a devil fruit. Got a kid. Gotta find his head here. Wait, is this all of bag 3? Oh shit, yeah. We're definitely gonna finish this. If this is all of bag 3, we're definitely finishing this on Thursday and starting something new. I'll definitely have to do a poll on Wednesday. Where's his head? Here it is. Luffy can hold the straw hat, so maybe you don't want to have. I guess I could set it so he's just got hair. His Shanks could have. Yeah, we could just do that. We could do Shanks without the hat and just hair because Luffy has the hat. So we do have the hat, and he can wear it. I guess he can wear it without hair. I don't want to do that because that's weird. But Luffy can hold the hat, and so I guess we could also have it that Shanks and both of them have the hat. But I think that's silly to do. So we'll do that. We'll put the devil fruit in there. And yeah, we'll get some Lego separated here for the rest of the stream. And then Hades 2, as I said, rules. In Hearthstone, I've got some decks that I'm playing. I'm trying out a new standard deck that I don't know if I love, but I certainly like that standard deck, so I'm trying that out. That's been a fun process to try to get that working. It is not a deck that I have modified from somebody else. It is a deck that I am building on my own, that I am crafting on my own. So it's going okay considering that. And then it's just playing Hearthstone, trying to get quests done, trying to get gold for finishing quests, so that when the next expansion comes out, I will have gold to buy stuff from that expansion. That's about it. That's where that's going. Nathan says, halfway through Silk Song and loving it. Fuck yeah, love that for you, Nathan. Trying to convince myself I can cram the last 2 seasons of My Hero Academia so I can be caught up for the final season. I mean, you could try to do that, or you could just watch it at your leisure, knowing that the final season is happening, and then you can then get caught up on the final season, right? Like, you don't have to get it done before that season starts. You could just be watching it while that's happening. You could give it a go. I don't know. Maybe you do feel like you need to get caught up. I will say, it's some stuff in this last season of My Hero Academia is pretty fucking heavy to be watching back to back to back. I mean, you certainly could do it, but I believe in you. But there's some goddamn depth in that. So, there's some stuff going on. There is some pathos to be had, for sure. So it might be a bit of a tough one to barrel through. Lord Crash says, been playing more Clover Pit as I try to get good win in here at some point. It has to happen at some point if I gamble enough. Yes, of course. Eventually you're just going to end up with a big win because that's just statistics. Statistics say eventually you'll win. You'll win big. I didn't end up buying Clover Pit, but I will. I will eventually get that game because I really did like the demo, even if aesthetically it is not necessarily my jam. I do think that is just a quality video game, and so I will probably at some point end up getting that game and then trying to win, do my best to get a big victory in there. But I eventually will pick that up, just not at the moment. My next purchase will, of course, be Power Rush Simulator 2. That's the next game purchase for sure. Lord Lashbrook says, the Daft Punk experience launched in Fortnite. And if you're even a casual fan, I really recommend it. It's amazing. Harmonix really got to geek out on this one. I think they even resurrected Chroma as a horde mode. Chroma's been kind of like around in the edges of Fortnite, so it makes sense. This, of course, leaves me playing actual Fortnite again. Currently, every match you can summon the Megazord from Power Rangers and fight a giant bug. Yeah, that sounds like Fortnite. Like, I don't keep up on Fortnite, but what you've just said sounds like fucking Fortnite, my dude. That sounds like what you do in the Fortnites. Yeah. You summon a Megazord and you fight a big bug. Sure. And then you can play the Daft Punk experience, which is cool. It's a good time to be... Hey, we live in a good time to be a Daft Punk fan because Daft Punk rules. And now you get weird video games with Daft Punk in it. And that's cool. That's just cool shit. That's just cool stuff that happens. That's just like a thing. Daft Punk and Fortnite. What will they do next? Who can say? I mean, also, it's a good time if you like Hatsune Miku. If you like Hatsune Miku, you can be Hatsune Miku in a variety of video games. Some of those are like dance games or rhythm games, but also, she's in a Sonic Racer. She's in that Sonic Racing game. Like, there's going to be a few other weird characters in that coming. I believe there are Minecraft stuff happening in there. You could be Minecraft Steve in there soon. And I think there's a Yakuza or Like a Dragon. I think Like a Dragon crossover is coming to that Sonic Racer. But right now, you could be Hatsune Miku. And that's fun. That's just like a fun thing that you can do if you wanted to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. Ooh, we got a wanted poster. I believe that these are random, and there are several wanted posters, if I remember correctly. They say on the box. Let me see. One random wanted poster included. So this Kuro wanted poster is apparently random. And there are apparently other ones. I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know which ones are in there. I think that's fine. I don't have any particular opinion on Kuro being in there. 15 million berry. Okay. Sure. That's who I got. I hadn't looked yet, but that's who I got. I got Kuro. Okay. You know. I don't know how many of them there are. I don't know which ones I like dodged the bullet on and which ones I like fucked up and didn't get. That I'm like, curses. But there's that. And we got Luffy. We got Shanks. Luffy on a boat. Waving at Shanks. One-arm Shanks. We got the... Just for now, we'll put that there. I'm making a little play set here before we get into bag 3. Kind of hanging out. I do love having a Shanks minifig. I think that's neat. I'm excited about that. Just kind of getting some gestures here ready to go for when I take a photo of this after the stream is done. And also there's a crab. There's just a crab. Lord Crashin says, I did get into the new season in Rocket League, which features the Pontiac Firebird as the main car. That's a fun addition. Okay. That does sound fun. Nice. These here. Lord Crash says they have a Sonic the Hedgehog event going on now where you have to have the standard 3-on-3, but Sonic in his dash ball is form zipping around to kill people so they can turn into a circle of rings when they die. Okay. So you want to play 3-on-3, but also you have to constantly know where the ball is, try to score points, and also avoid Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what? Sure. Gotta dodge Sonic at all times. Indeed. Gotta dodge them all. Lashbrick says, looks like the posters are Luffy, Buggy, Mihawk, Arlong, Kuro, Alvida, Don Krieg, and Gold Roger. All right, so I got the shittiest one then. Man, all right. Buggy would have been fucking rad. Buggy would have whipped ass. I mean, I guess I don't want Don Krieg. Gold Roger would have been cool. Arlong would have been awesome. Mihawk would have been cool. Buggy would have been good. Yeah, I guess I don't want Kuro, and I definitely don't want Don Krieg. So, oh well. I don't even remember Don Krieg. I'm 99% sure that Don Krieg is the guy that they have to he has to defeat. Luffy has to defeat in order to free up the possibility of having Sanji join the crew. So I believe Don Krieg is the guy with golden armor. Yeah, it's the guy with golden armor, and he's got a big lance with a big circle on it. He's an admiral with the Krieg pirates, and he uses a bunch of underhanded methods. But he's early in East Blue, right? So like, yeah. Which is funny because I think they cut him from the show. Yeah, he's not in the show. Also, I remember him because he went to the Grand Line and got his entire crew got fucking trounced by Mihawk alone, because Mihawk doesn't have a crew. So much so that, like, yeah, they came back to East Blue, and he was just like trying to be a big shot in East Blue because he fucked up and couldn't hack it. All right, we're gonna end it here. I have some Lego to assemble here. We've got all of our minifigs done. We'll do bag 3 on Thursday, and then start a model kit, because I don't have any Lego in my backlog, so it's only model kits. But we've got model kits to build and Lego to finish assembling, which we will do. But yeah, I've got the bag. I've got everything knolled and separated and ready to go. So we'll get this done on Thursday. And yeah, a reminder, as we go in raid, because every stream here ends with a raid. So we're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. While we get that done, reminder that my next stream is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And what we'll be doing tomorrow is, of course, tomorrow we'll be checking out Unfair Flips, which is going to be a goddamn nightmare. It's going to rule and be terrible, and I'm going to love it. I love Unfair Flips. It is a great video game. It is worth $2. Yes, I do know that Mary is in Japan. We are going to go raid my good friend Rara, aka Vectroid. Rara is back at it again, doing streams, making music, having a good time. It'll be good and fun and weird and stupid. And Rara rules, and you'll have a good time there. Come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern as I play Unfair Flips and try not to get salty when the flips don't go my way, because they won't. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.